What is up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the Fantasy Fellow Show. My name is Kyle. In this video, as I record this, it is March 21st. We're looking at the waiver wire for week. I think it's week 22, week 21, one of the two, and it should be fantasy playoff time for you guys. It's either your second week of fantasy playoffs or your first week, and basically we're just going to identify some of the top ads for the week here. I did want to shout out hashtag basketball. Let's get into this website real quick. Just go to hashtagbasketball.com or find the link in the description below, and then hit advanced schedule grid. And it is week 22. So let's see what we are working with. I'm just going to filter the games. We have three teams here with only 2 games this week: the Clippers, the Kings, and the Spurs. Not really excited to add any of these guys. Maybe for just the Wednesday or the Saturday if you need an extra player or two. But who's playing 4? It looks like most teams play 4 here. Everybody from the Nets all the way down to the Wizards, and then a handful of teams play 3. So again, use this link in the description below. You're gonna want to get as many teams as you can with 4 games, and just be wary of teams with back-to-backs. I know in the past I've been burned by expecting, oh, this team's going to get 4 games, and all of a sudden you're not going to get that. So I'm looking at like the Hornets here. Like they have a space in between each game. So do the Mavs, a space in between each game. The Pistons have a space. I'm more interested in some of those teams, like the Timberwolves here. That's a really good ad, and a couple other teams here. So check the hashtag basketball link out.com, and let's shout out some names here. Now, Josh Hart, he's 60% rostered. I'm not sure why he's got the red O here. It says he will not be available. So it's the second half of back-to-back. They're just building up some rest there. They got nothing to play for. So they're just taking it easy. But Trendon Watford, the guy who's on the cover of the thumbnail here, one of the hottest pickups that you could have had in the last month or so, ever since the end of February. He's been just beasting it out. His minutes, his points, he's going to flirt with a double-double. He's a 4 to 5 category player. Only 17.5% rostered. And guess what, guys? He's averaging 32.6 points per game over the last 7 days. So Trendon Watford, the number one pickup, again, only 17.5% rostered. And hashtag basketball says the Blazers do have 4 games. So they're going to play Detroit tonight, the Spurs, and then they get a back-to-back against Houston. So maybe we don't see, the starters play in both of those games. Darius Bazley is our next man up. He's about 25% rostered, averaging 27.7 points per game. Just having, some consistent run here, ever since, I guess, going back to mid-February, I guess the All-Star break. He's been very consistent with the minutes, really good scorer. But of late, though, he's had some really nice games here in the scoring in the 20s. Looks like he's a 3 to 4 category player most night. I like Bazley in 8, not in 8-man leagues, but in 10 and 12-man leagues. Cameron Payne, one of the best pickups of the last, I guess, since the All-Star break with the Chris Paul injury. He's just been on fire. I'm not sure why he's day-to-day. He was ruled out of yesterday's games due to a non-COVID illness. So hopefully he's back on track, and Cameron Payne's going to be ready to roll. If he's out there, he's 41% rostered, 31.4 points per game over the last 7 days. He needs to be picked up. Bruce Brown continues to just stay heated here. And ever since pre-All-Star break, this man's been on fire. You look at what he's been doing, just super consistent. He's actually averaging 35.8 points per game, 21.1% rostered. So right now, Bruce Brown might be the number one pickup of guys that are about under 30% rostered. So I love Bruce Brown. Look at Trendon Watford. A couple other guys here, Drew Eubanks. Another power forward for the Blazers here, who's going to get a few games. Only 8% rostered. He's averaging 28.7 points per game. Bones Highland starting to come along here for the Denver Nuggets. He's 28.7 points per game, and just like Eubanks, only 8.4% rostered. But starting to put it together. The minutes and the scoring is really consistent there. I like that he's a 4. He's usually a 4 category guy most nights here. So if you do play in those leagues, he does have a floor of 16 to 20 points. But otherwise, he's been flirting with some mid 30-point fantasy games. So I like Bones Highland. Jordan Poole, of course. With the Steph Curry injury, that's going to be all Jordan Poole, but he's likely not available. Dylan Brooks, though, is a guy that I'm excited about back. He's only played 4 games, but this is a 4-game sample that I'm very interested in. If you play in 10 or 12-man leagues, Dylan Brooks is a guy here under 30% rostered, playing for one of the best teams, and he's going to be averaging in the upper 30s per minutes, and they want to get Dylan Brooks ready for the playoffs. One of the best ads I think you can get right now in a 10 or 12-man league. And I mean, he's a 4 to 5 category player here. So if you do play in those leagues too, Dylan Brooks is fantastic. Jackson Hayes, under 10% rostered, averaging 29.4 points per game over the last 3 games for him. Looks like Patrick Beverley, under 20% rostered. He's averaging almost 30 fantasy points over his last 3 games. Shout out to Lauri Markkanen, under 50% roster, but he's averaging 33 points per game. Not sure what's up with that, but it looks like he put up a massive 58.5 games, so that kind of skews it. But Markkanen should be rostered in a lot of leagues. And then I'm just going to kind of rapid fire here. Mason Plumlee, about 28% rostered. He's averaging almost 26.5 points per game. Evan Fournier, under 60% rostered. He should be added in most leagues. Drummond was a hot pickup when he got acquired by the Nets, and he's starting to look fairly consistent here. He's about 28 points per game, and he's settled in here around 49% rostered. So I do like that the minutes are consistent, double usually for most nights here. 3 to 4 categories as well. Keldon Johnson high rostered, Mitchell Robinson high rostered. Sadiq Bey had that nasty game last week, the only game on I think it was like a Wednesday or Thursday night, the only game on town. But anyways, that's kind of the majority of it. I did use Moritz Wagner last week against Detroit. Just a guy I wanted to shout out. He's been getting a lot of consistent run and high productivity in just a limited minutes here. But that's pretty much it. I guess we could shout out Trey Lyles, one of the hot pickups here that no one's really talking about. His last few games, ever since he got acquired by the Kings, he's been really solid. And you see these last 4 games for Trey Lyles against some good teams too. We're talking Phoenix, Boston, Milwaukee, and Chicago, and he held his own above 25 points in all the games here. And he's only 3% rostered. So Trey Lyles is definitely interesting to me. He's on the Kings, and the Kings only have 2 games this week, so that's unfortunate. But against Indy and Orlando, if you need a player for those nights, I would totally say he's worth a look into for sure. But we're just gonna do a quicker video tonight. I've been very busy. I'm sorry. I was home to Green Bay, and I'm gonna be leaving this weekend as well. So I'm trying to get as many videos as I can out this weekend. It's the fantasy playoffs. I want to help you guys. Let me know if you have questions in the comments below. But again, just hit that plus minus. See who's out there, guys. Try and find some of the hottest owned players right now. We did mention a bunch at the top. So thank you for watching. Good luck, and we'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.